Okay, no idea where I was going to start tonight, so I always tried to make it a little different. I'm going to return to the kitchen, see what's in here. Cup of tea. And how are you? How are you, Missy? Tell me a story. What's the difference between CAT and DOG? Can you tell me what the difference is between CAT and DOG? Would you know? Tell me the story. CAT DOG. You're just going to sit there just like that? No conversation? I'm going to have to make the conversation up myself. So tell me what it's all about. CAT cat 24. The 24th letter is X. The reverse is C. What else goes with X and C? X is 6, C is 3. They fit together on the cube. Now, dog is D, and it's 26 for Z. Z fits with 2 and 6 is 8. Cat fits the 26 letters. Sorry, that would be Z, right? Is that conversation with just because it's just me and you here, right? I wasn't even going to start out the video, and now you're ignoring me. I mean, you gave me the information. Now you ignore me, right? We're going to get on to this video. How you doing? Who's here? What are we going to talk about tonight? Maybe I'm going to start off with what I was looking at with Alex Gray letters. I think I'm going to start off with that. Although I called this video, It's a Natural. In BACCARAT, they play a natural as 8 and 9. They also have a special way, and I don't know the game by heart, right? I just know what happens when you get 2 6s. When you have 2 7s, there's no more cards pulled. 8 and 9 is a natural. Everything stops. When the 3 and the 8 come out, something to do with the player and what they call the bank, right? In that game, they call it the player and the bank. So I'm going to have to write down those 2 words. You can say player, and then we say bank. And obviously, you know, the Wi-Fi just showed up. And we're going to go bank. And we're going to go to Alex Gray letters to start with. I'm not sure what anybody really wants to look at. I don't have anything planned. Usually I don't. Sometimes I do. I'm a little bit tired. So this is what we're going to do. Okay. Here is the Allison Gray letters. Now you see the way we look at this area over here. When we put it at a diamond, we can find our fine line center. Our separation, I always like to use as Earth base. My point, I always like to use as Mars. So what is the dimensions of these letters? What is the minimum I can create and the maximum? You can see the area over here, the area over here, the area over here. Is it the same as the area over here? It looks a little wider over here. Here, it's definitely wider. So I can use this as one separation. What is the size of this? Is it 3 times what this is? But before I even get to that, we're just going to see if I can, I should be printing that, right? Just give me a second. I'm going to see if we can. Thank you very much, Mr. Cat. Out of the way. Come on. I know you want to get involved. We should be printing this. So let me see if I can. And this is where you decided to stay after I talked to you? Come on. Come on. You know you're disturbing me on purpose, right? You're disturbing me on purpose. Talk. Hey, you're disturbing me on purpose. Come on, baby. Come. Okay. So what we're going to do, and I really would like to print this up. So just give me a minute before I start. I'm going to print up this paper. If there's anything to do with numbers that you want to know, sequences, high hand, pink waving, high hand, pink waving, high hand, pink waving. You know, maybe I should start with the bricks. No, but I want to print this. Let me go over here. We're going to print this. There's so many things. Okay, we didn't do that. Copy image, go over to paint. I mean, there's so many things. Once you start with numbers, you know, there's so much that goes on. And right now I'm just all talk, right? So now we're going to go over here, and then we're going to print. As long as the cat didn't print out all my papers, please tell me the printer's working. Yes, the printer's working. So all of a sudden, this cat is gone. This cat has got to go see where those papers are coming from, right? Where are those papers coming from, kitty cat? You're checking it out, right? For those who've never been here before, first time, yeah, that's my painted ceiling. And if you look down at the floor, the entire floor is painted and it's not carpet. So we're going to talk about it. In fact, maybe I just want to talk about the bricks to start. First, we're going to talk about bricks. Then we're going to get on and talk about this. I'm going to try to get on to Fibonacci. We can get into also, if you'd like to discuss and ask me, how can I make pi perfect? I want to see that I have, I have my stick in over here. I need to get the focus on this. Just give it a second. And also, if you have to remind me, I'm only here because everybody's going to become me. And I need to be reminded of what I did in the past so I can get back on that and share with how I created something or how I brought a certain reality to match another reality, like Jesus Christ, Mars, Rubik's Cube, the calculator, the separation and understanding of 7, 8, and 9, how Mars, the sun, and the moon are interlinked and connected in numbers, how Fox headquarters comes together. What is 6 and 8? What is 432 vibration? What is 864 in the sun? What are the 6 days of creation matching up versus day? Remember, day equaling to 24 hours, day equaling to 1,440 minutes, day equaling to 86,400 seconds. 86, 4 times 3 is 25,920, and that's going to match up with the Mayan long count. At the same time, I also want to talk about bricks. So maybe we're going to get some bricks out of the way right now. So you're going to have to remind me everything I said, right? And remember these two letters, C and H, 3 and 8. When I put this 3 card over the 8 card, I now interlock the heart with these 2 moons. This is what the 3 card, 3 and 8, what it does. 3 and 8 is 11. And where can we find 3 and 8? We find 3 and 8 right over here. Here is 3 and 8. There are 3 missing. According to this, I have 3 dots and 3 dots and 3 missing. I flip this over because all I have to do is, right, there's no searching. All your information is right here, plus the alphabet, plus games. I don't go any further. There's no special secret to anything. Everything is about number 3 and 4, the house of DC, direct current. Ask me, I'll explain it to you. You tell me if my hypothesis is correct, incorrect. Okay. So when we see 1 in the center with 8 around. So the 1, 6 is actually the 3, 8 void. And there's your 3 and 8. 3, 8. So I take the 3 card, I put it over the 8 card, and I interlock this area. Although they're not in the exact position, neither is what is the chakra lineup. It has to be understood. Things move up and down. And I did a video today showing what up and down and a skirt is all about. You see the center of this over here. If I put it into a hole, the skirt that goes around me will cover to the right and will cover to the left. So that would be 3 areas it would be covering. The 4th area, I would be switching out of one of the areas that it's covering up, if you can understand that. I'm hoping that you can understand it. Also, the cube is showing me there's no more than 3 in a row anywhere. I have to take off this autofocus. So first I'm going to begin with the bricks, right? Let me see if I can begin with the bricks. And one of my first bricks that I'm going to begin with is the outline to the brick. And this outline to the brick is right over here. Now, if I was standing the brick up, this would be the outline to the brick, and it also looks like a letter, looks like the letter L. Now, if I also looked at the brick and I put the bricks this way, I would have between 3 bricks and separating the next brick, I would have what is the eye. So I'm now going to install this next brick, and to separate this brick and holding a brick and standing on top of a brick, now I have the letter I. At the same time, just the top of this brick coming to the bottom of this brick, okay, is going to create what is the letter T. So we've created the T, and connected to the T is part of the I, the IT system of birth. Plus we had the L. Now we have the outside of these bricks, and we're going to run the outside of this brick. Let me see if I can get a darker pencil to run the, let me see, did I get the outside of this brick? And we end up with the letter E. When we turn this I sideways, we end up with the letter H. So now I have the H, the I, the T, the L, and we have the E. Now, where is the R? Well, I like to look at the R as the TV set. Here is the separation of the bricks on the bottom. And since it's square paper, how else can I create the R but this way? So the R is actually back-to-back R and R coming together right over here. And this would be the bottom 3 bricks, where R and R is one head over 2 stones separated between the 2, and this is where the R would be. But it's 2 of them. So is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know, but we have to understand a little bit more about the R, and we end up with this. In fact, the major part about the bricks is high, and then it becomes high 89 and 52. Why high 89 and 52? Because the basics of what we actually see with the bricks, right, is if I would put out the number 5 on one side and I would face it with the number 2, we would create one brick and then the separation of the brick, knowing that the H is the 8th letter, the I is the 9th letter. And this is where I come out with this situation. This becomes 8, this becomes 7, and that is your gateway. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, there are countries getting together to form a new monetary system, and they call it BRICS. Back in the time of Moses, close to, 4,000 years ago, or 6,000 years in the time of creation, up to now. What was the year 2000? Can anybody explain to me what was the year 2000? Does anybody have a hypothesis or a thought about the year 2000? Well, this is what I see in the year 2000. In the year 2000, right, on the Gregorian calendar, okay, was the Hebrew year 5760. So by the time this calendar was created, we start in the year 3760. What is this? It's 1440 plus 1440 plus 1440 plus 1440 equals to 2880 equals to 2880 equals to 5760. But everything turns over. Everything we work about is multiply and divide by 3, multiply and divide by 4. Nothing else. I'm beginning with this base. And the reason I use this base, where's my other dice cube again? Oh, see, just in front of me. Look at that. Magic. Magic, magic. It's because 5 and 2 equaling to 8. I use 2 cubes. Noted that 3 and 4 are inverted to each other. Here we're going to have Earth, the third planet. Here we're going to have Mars. If we want to flip this over, right, to make it perfect, as we have 7 across from 3, 1 across from 9, 4 across from 6, 8 across from 2. So we're going to go that Earth, the third planet, will be across of Uranus, which is the 7th planet. And Mars is across from Saturn, and that's the 6th planet. It's just so ironic that Earth is 5 and 2, 7, and Mars is 5 and 1, 6. Uranus is number 94. Saturn is number 93. It's ironic that they both get that number as well. 9 and 7, they're very special. Let's not forget 9 and 7. Because of the French, what the French do with it. Also to know the month of, this is number 7 in French, but they continue to say September, which is number 7, but in the 9th month. 65 and 42. 107 representing the word 20, also representing Earth. 5 times 2, 10. 5 plus 2, 7. And the French exchange the sound of these two letters. They say G for a J and J for a G. Not only that, that if I should write this, K-I-N-G, when you see G written this way, it looks like a 6. And inside of here, in the empty space, looks like the J letter, so they fit again. As well, when you create the K letter, which is the 11th letter, it's showing 5, Roman numeral, up against 1. 5 up against 1. Also note that 5 and 9 are polarity to each other. Also note that 5 and 9, not only are they polarity to each other, but they're actually the same. They're both numeric value 42. 9 gets a reduction over to what is 28. And if we want to use this together, we'll get 6 by 28 or 7 by 24. 6 being Mars, 6 being Mars, 7 being Earth. They'll both equal to 100, sorry. They'll both equal to 168. There's 168 hours in a week. 7 and 8 is that gateway. 68 is the house of DC. And the reason we're going to go back to the house of DC, 3 and 3, 4 and 4. 1 and 5, 2 and 6, the Queen and Mars. 3 and 5, 4 and 2. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. I should have did it this way. 7, 7, 7, 7. So if I'm going to go ahead and prove that point, everything is documented right here. 4 and 4, 3 and 3. Mass, space. So if we're going to talk about MC squared, we have to understand where we're going and where everything comes from. Also to note that this is going to be 16 and 8. And this one is over here is going to be 9 and 6. This is the rotation, division of night and day. 1 period and 2 periods. 8 and 16 is the 24 hours. 8 and 7 is that gate is split. When you add up 1 through 12, it equals to 78. If you want to use, again, back to Mars, where it's 3 by 17 equals to what is 51. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 equals to what is 7 and 8. I'm just trying to see if I got everything in order right now. The division of the gateway is number 24. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 6 and 8. Then 6 and 8, when you go to play the game of craps, the odds they give you on these cubes is 7 to 6. You have to put down 6 in order to win 7 plus your 6 back, equaling to 13. Now 13 is part of the Mayan clock or calendar or movement of time, where if you take a look at this calculator, 7 crossing to 6. When that happens, in order to complete the cube, what is above is below. When 13 is above, 4 and 3 is 7 below. The opposite way is 9 and 4, 13, to where is what is 6 and 1, 13. And what's ironic about that is your greatest gap on a dice cube, right? Your greatest gap on a dice cube, 1 and 6, where 2.5 is away from the center or the numeric value for Earth. At the same time, ONE1, NE representing in French, né, meaning birth, and born into the sun, because the numeric value creates what is the story of born into the IT system of the divided sun. In the sun system, they call it the sun 10. We are mirrored and we become the sun, SON 10, the mirror of what is. A, B, C, D is your complete. Everything is completed and transmission through E. When you transmission through E, you get I, you get H, you get G, and you get F. When you do this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 equaling to 10 J, to what is 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 equaling to 30, or 1 and 3, or how about 103, JC for Jesus Christ, the mirror in creation. What is C? C is created from 11, from 1 and 1. When you bring 1 and 1 together, that's what creates C. Mathematically, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1, equals to 1, equals to 2, 2 plus 1 equals to 3. Now this scenario over here, we have all the sticks. We have 12 in an area, but we only count 3 rows, and then the 4th row, we drop the 1st row. So if I was going to count, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to now drop 1, 2, 3, go on to the next row where it's going to say 10, 11, and 12, where 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1, 11 is 1 plus 1 is 2, and 12 is 1 plus 2 is 3. So every third one, we flip over onto the next. Not only that, but when we're counting in the triangle as 1, 2, 3, 4 would end up over here. 5 would end up over here, and 6 would end up over here. Here is our base creation in the IT system of the sun and earth. Then we end up doing this over here. 3 periods. The 4th one is just repeating on top. The gear moves 1 forward. Now, even though I might lose what I'm talking about, I do want to go over far out. Thank you very much for being here. I'm not really sure who's here, but okay, 42, 14. Also with the 42, it's 14, then 24, then 34, then 44, and 54, and 64, and 74, then 84. I can't get into the explanation of that right now. I'm going to try to. I don't always remember exactly how it fits together, but every time you go up, you're going to go up 1 number. Also to note that 1 and 4 and 2 and 4, 1 and 2 come together to create 3. When I envelop, when I swallow in something between 2 sides, the spirit is, or a skirt. How can I show you a skirt? What a skirt looks like. I was playing cribbage today, and the dress on this, you see the dot is in the center? Well, that dot goes into the hole. And then the end of this covers the hole to that side, and then this covers the hole to that side. So I'm collecting 3. The minute I move this 1, okay, I now empty the space here, and I still cover 3. Now there's 5 spaces in cribbage. So in order to fit into cribbage properly, I'm going to have to put this one either here, but then this one and this one are covered. Or I put it here to where these 2 are covered, the 2nd and the 4th finger, and that ends up to be your gateway. Where this finger over here is the 3rd finger, It is the 8th finger. It is the 13th finger, and it is the 18th. Sorry if you want to call it digit. Using your hands and your toes, this is 3, 8, 13, and 18. You notice the way 1 and 8, 18 came together with 8, the way 3 came together in packets of 10, A, B, C, D. Just give me a minute. I want to get something to drink. I hope you understood that. You see, for me, just for me, over the almost 20 years that I'm doing this, I see a lot of, I understand the scenarios that are going on. So for you to believe, you have to see it to believe it, but then you have to understand the rational and logic of the association. 78, 86, cat tail, cat mat, cat paper, cat row, cat columns, cat spiral, cat calculator. My Joy, thank you for streaming. We have to, in order for us to come together, to unite, we have to understand where everything comes for with proof. We have to understand that who is the Lord, or what happened on day 7. I don't know, but Sunday is day 1. Saturday was the day of rest. So on Sunday, what happens? Is it day 2 or is it the second day of the weekend? Because if you get caught in the end zone, you get 2 for a touch back. But now you get the extra point for the touch down, which happened on Friday on day 6. And then on day 7, everybody rested because we had a central system, central conscience, for you created your own world and you created everybody in your image. And you wouldn't create anything else, and nobody should create anything else because you already created in your own image. But you had a little problem. You kept forgetting and there was no paper. So you made more of you. You stood in the front of a mirror and you saw there was tons of you all around. It was just you. After you created all of you, what happened next? I needed to protect myself from myself. Imagine if we all had cars. If I'm alone, I have a car, I drive down the street. The only thing coming out is Mother Nature. Otherwise, I'm interfering with somebody else. I went through the stop sign. I smashed a car. Now we have 2 smashed cars. Who's going to repair it? Of course, me. So we have to come up with the understanding and security to protect myself from me. We need central conscience. Why do I create many of me? Is because if we want to learn, it's going to take me a long time to learn by myself. But with a central conscience, and many of me's going out there to learn, we put it in the central conscience, we come together and we share and we understand, because it's all of me, and I'm out for one goal: to know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat or robot? Shalom saying goodbye. You can also look at it, I like sort of seeing it as malicious, but I need to write that in capitals. Also note that the reverse alphabet of S is H. So what kind of mathematical equation can we create with S and H? Well, I'm just throwing out a lot of mathematical equations sometimes because we need to do this together. It's a lot, 20 years, and I don't think I'm half done. So what happens between S and H? S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's what's between S and H. Now, what's between H and S? I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. And that's the 2 ways of S and H. On one side, it's one part of the alphabet. On the other side, it's the other side of the alphabet. S is the 19th letter, created from number 13, created from number 16 or 61, or 13 or 31. Where does this come from? Where does 16 come from? And can we create 16 somewhere else? We have to find all the ways to create it. Well, we know 4 times 4 is 16, but at the same time, that's only one part of the star system. It's the X, what cuts everything in half. Or the window of the star system, 4 plus 4 is 8. So 8 is now 1/3 of what is 16. 16 is now 2 parts of what is 8. We have 1/3 for 8 and 2/3 for 16. So now we understand that 16 is in the house of bait. We also have to note that when we're using 8s, 8 comes into 8 by 8 times 8, 64. 8 plus 8 equals to 16 and 64, equaling to 80. 8 plus 0 equals to 8. Pythagorean system, counting down to a single digit. Also know that there's a gateway in 88 because of 8 and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. 7 comes into 8. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 is what is 8. And also noted that Mars is 1/3 of what is 17Q. Where? Why? Because Mars' numeric value for the alphabet equals to number 51. 3 by 17 equals to 51. At the same time, 3 times 1 equals to 3. 3 times 7 equals to 21. 2 and 1 is 3. So you already know that Mars is part in rotation of the divided sun. 6 and 9. 3 times 3, 9. 3 plus 3, 6. And the opposite of the cube of 33, which is mass, is area space, 44. The division of night and day, 4 times 4, 4 plus 4, is where you get 8 and 16. Now, although I did make a slight error in poorly explaining that S is the 19th letter, it's not the 16th letter, but they invert. 6 and 9 are in rotation of each other in the birth and into the creation of the day of light in our creation. So remind me to get back also to the part of where we are with ABC 1, 2, 3. I just want to get a little drink in the kitchen. Give me a 1-minute break. I'm going to come back. I'm going to try not to forget anything. And also, I want to remind myself that when I see a TV set, I'm thinking about 99 because of reboots, not rebought, because we rebought. We're going to buy it again. We could have sold it to buy and to sell. And noted that BUY, Y25, U21 is 46, plus B equals to 48. Sell 19 plus E, 24. L and L is 24. 24 and 24 is 48. Pluto is number 84. So to buy and to sell, the pull and the ring are all number 48. And it's the division between night and day. Try to understand what the pull is. Here is the pull, and around it is the ring. 1/3 equaling to the total of 7. And when you spin this around, it equals to 14. 14 and 7. 1/3 is 7, and 7 and 7 is 14. And that would be Bet. Bet would be the ring that goes on the pull of the spirit. 1 and 2, always 1 and 2. 1 enters into what is 2 becoming 3, and then 2 crisscrosses on itself to create what is 4. And note, 4 happens 3 times. 4 is here, 4 is over here, and 4 is over here. The 4 corners. Forget what's on the inside. The inside are just the average or part of what is on the outside. And what is 1 is not 2. 1 is the spirit in the center. So what is 2? Well, if you bring the artwork into this, and obviously the heart is very important, right? Can we create this as a heart? But I have to create it square because I have to squarely understand. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to go and you keep moving back on me. Now I'm going to go create the second heart. So by me creating these 2 hearts, you notice I didn't touch this area over here. So this area over here, this area over here, and this area over here is all connected. I have to go slow. Is all connected to the outside over here. So are we going to call the dots on the cube the black hole? Or are we going to call the void, the empty space that's not there? There's a possibility of drilling, of marking these dice there, but they're not. So if we want to have the dolphin or something to jump into the game, it would be jumping into the game right over here. Now, my big question is, should I be doing that? And then from my hexagon, actually create a cube so we can get into the game through this marking over here. And that's where my heart is. And here's my 3 over here. But when I have my 3 over here, I'm now going to have 1, 2, 3 over here. Over here, it's split. I have 1, 2, and then I have a split area. And that's your 9-face cube. Every single cube has 9 faces. So what you don't see, the total 9, is going to be missing. So just give me a 1-minute break here. I'm going to see what order I'm in, just to let you know, for those who've never been here before, I'm usually a little bit all over the place. Am I ever, their hypotheses and realities, understanding what we find in games. It could be hockey, baseball, soccer, football, darts, bowling, 5-pin bowling, 10-pin bowling, duck pin bowling. Even if the score is scored the same, the name of the game is different. Every single number is written with using the alphabet. Then there's rules and regulations to the games. Everything that is an add-on or extra, just like on your computer, you have to treat it as an add-on or extra. So if you say, what about this? Well, is it an add-on? Is it direct or indirect? We also have to know that there's suffixes and prefixes, Roman numerals. And I want you to remind me to get back on what is ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 3, 2 for our vibration. What is 5760 or the year 2000? What is 1440 minutes a day? 86,400 or 86 million or 864 million to the diameter of the sun, and how that all equates to the Mayan calendar and the movement of their Mayan calendar. Because all of this is calculable. I've done it before. So if I don't get to it now, or if I don't remember, remind me, and I'll see where I am. After 20 years, I'm trying to make sure that I don't forget anything. And that's why we're working together. And I'm you, and you're me. And this is what it's all about. And it's the end of time. It's the end of the long cycle. Why is it happening now? It's a freaking miracle. That's what I have to say. No matter what evil you see out there, what's going on right now is a miracle, because we finally figured out how to figure out everything about creation, because everything that was created, and we keep saying, well, you did it, and you did it, and who are you? Well, I'm a child of the Creator, and we're all the children of the Creator. And you also have to understand to move forward in time. I don't care what book you read. If you're only going to read one book, you already know. Don't put everything into the single basket. So if you're only reading one book for one God and one this, and God has 65 names, why in the world does God have 65 names? Oh, he has this name, and oh, it's supposed to be this name. Why argue? Why not share? Why not understand the differences? Because it's in the difference that the truth comes out of the reality. The reality is, this is a paradise, and we all agree. So why not work on things that we can agree and understand? And numerically calculate the numeric value for God and understand that. Because is it not noted that it is the word? Well, if it is the word, I think that and it's my thesis, that I think English and French and many of the other languages that are out there is the process to finally bring everything together for a better understanding, only because I can just hear a grunt. And if you say grunt, well, what kind of grunt it was? Was it high? Was it low? Was it a squeal? So we know all these are words, and just through the words, we can understand where they fit. The bat mitzvah, the bat lady, the bat mitzvah, Batman. And he had small ears. So what is that exact question? So us being here to watch, is this the numbers? What is that supposed to actually mean? So I'm going to make it up. Why are you here? I don't know. You have an interest to understand what I perhaps am doing and why I'm doing it. My end result is, I'm going to tell you that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, no, let me go back 50 years ago, when all I dreamt, I had bad, terrible dreams. And the dreams were about letters and numbers, to where move it forward to the 5th day of the week, to the inverted 5th hour of the day, which is the 9th hour, because 5 reverses 9. It is your birth hour into the E world. 5 and 9, 45. 5 by 9 is 45. The face is 9. The average of 9 is 5. EIEIO, or 5959, okay, or 95 Neptune, 95 Einstein, and 95 is also 28, 39, and 28, which is part of the fabrication of what is 1776, which is a division of the gateway, because how we get to 1776 is when we divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 equaling to 24, where the 24, I think, times 74 is 1776. 24 times 74 equals to 1776, which is Jesus. Also, 47 is time, 74 is cross. 7 is what is 13, representing both female and male and the moon. 17 is also part of the gateway, also represented in Mars. When 7 and 7 come together, they're representing the student of creation. The multiplication and addition of 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 7 plus 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 7 times 7 is 49. 49 and 14 is 63. When you use 63, okay, that 63, the word 11 equals to 63. 11, 6 and 3 is 9, 9, 11, K9, or the 9 lives of the cat. So K11, with the 9 in between, it becomes K. With the 9 in between the I letter, with 11, it looks like KI, and 11 looks like 1 and 1, or L. It says keel, and that's not the end of the boat. I'm going to go to the kitchen, going to come back. Well, you know what? The cross and the 4-leaf clover, right? The 3-leaf clover and the 4-leaf clover. Be of good cheer means be of God, Omega. The double O is the crossing of the moons. Imagine what's going on today. I don't know if anybody knows anything about rainbows, about why education has changed and why they're teaching about the twin education, the triangles, one up, a male, one down, a female, or one up, a female, one down, a male. What happens, for what I understand, is Mars and Earth comes together. Earth has 1 moon. Mars has 2 moons. This is what I have. So when you're born into this world, now I want to ask you a question. You're born into 1 moon. How in the world, okay, is it your system or is it the spirit that when you came in here, remember, our system is made with both male and female. So when the spirit comes into the soul, okay, who did you become? And now we see the refraction of light through Pink Floyd. I think, is it Pink Floyd? Right? And now you're going to say another brick in the wall. Teachers, leave those kids alone. Teach is the major word. The word H-E-T or TH, which begins at 4th. Once you get to 3rd bronze, and note bronze equals to 80, so it's part of the gate. When you get to bronze and 4th, where the TH begins, right, you end up with TH. And we begin right here with teach. This is a division between the A coming into the E world, the one spirit getting divided into the E world through the house of bait. And it's not for anything that it looks like this. This is where you get smart. So let me go get my drink in the kitchen, and we'll see if this cat passed out yet, right? You wouldn't come to me before, eh? You just hate when I do that. You hate when I do that? I'm so rough with you, eh? You just want to run away. Run, run. I see you're running away. You're running so fast. Oh, my God, you're running so fast. No, no, help me, help me, help me. Do you need help? Do I need help? Do I need to be protected from the gods of the animal kingdom? At the same time, before I go, take a look at your telephone, take a look at the ATM, and check it out that on the ATM, there's 2 letters that have been placed on number 1, and it's the Z and it's the Q. And it's been taken away from the telephone that the 7th position of the phone is a Q and the 9th position on the phone is a Z. I'm going to be back to you in 2 minutes. And just to let you know that 7 is through the moon and 9 is divided in the sun, the moon and the sun coming together as the gateway in the heaven spirit. Give me a minute. Give me 2 minutes. I'm making some hot water. Just give me a minute. You got to go to the bathroom. Go ahead. The cat's still lying. If you want, I can give you a little bit of clarity. We can take a look up there if you want. Maybe, I don't know. You want to study the ceiling or something? Just give me a minute. I'll be back in a minute. Hello, kitty, kitty. Give me a minute. Hot water's coming. Hot water's coming. Hey, kitty, kitty. How you doing, kitty, kitty? Hey, how you doing, kitty, kitty? Okay. Oh, that's not going to be any good. I am going to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Okay, coming back. Coming back. I just got to put this tea on the side so my kitty cat doesn't knock it over. Okay. I still remember what I was doing. Hey, kitty cat, give me a kiss. You want to see? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. You're a good kitty cat. Am I bothering you? Am I bothering you? Huh? Okay. Let me get into the pink lighter. The pink lighter. The pink lighter. What pink lighter? The pink lighter. Pink is another funny word. If you want to talk about pink and gray, there are not many colors that change their name when you add white, other than gray and pink. And gray, if I remember correctly, equals to 55. And if you create gray with an A, it's 51 Mars. So now it says Freedom Mars, A and E. Arts and Entertainment, A and E, 1 and 5. In fact, I'm trying to think. Gray and pink. Pink is number 50, and 50 can also be 59 and 56. 9 inverts to 6 in the yin yang. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 in numbers, as well as in the house, to where the dividing house is on 3 and 4. So everything I do comes from mathematics, comes from games, odds, etc., etc. I need to push you just a little bit forward. It's okay. Just stay there, please. Just stay there. Yes, absolutely. THOTH is almost like the church. CHURCH. U and R is equal to number 39. And 39, 93, 31, 13, 31, 13, 31, 13. It also shows up in roulette. When you look up orphan roulette, you're going to see it's going to show 57, 75, 57 in one area. And in the area it shows 57. Orphan roulette images. So I said orphan roulette. And then we get these areas over here. Hold on a second. And then when you get this area over here, see 17 and 34, it doubles up. The creation of 6, 8, 7, 6, 21, to where 9, 31, 40, 54 in the sun, 74 to Jesus of time, and then 75 into the moon. 75 is electric, 57 is the moon. Here I get a total of 57. Divide 57 by 3 is 19. 57, 19 times 3 equals to 57, 75. So 75 is 25 times 3 equals 75. So this says moon, this says electric, right? Here and here, I end up with 1 and 7, another Q gate. Why is it a Q gate? ABC equals to 10. When we do ABCD, we come back to the beginning. So it is whole. So we flip 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and we just do this. And also, when you play roulette, if you take a look at the roulette table, and I'm just going to, let's see if I got this roulette table. Okay, let me see if I can show you a betting pattern over here. Right, okay, here's the betting pattern, right? And in the betting pattern, here's 1. 1 plus 0 is 1, but this is black. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1, but this is red. 2 and 8 is 10. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So it's red, black, red, black. This is where I got my scheme from. So I understand it. And it only happens over here. In fact, in order to turn this into pi, right? This can all be turned into pi, and we can make pi perfect if I follow this formula. Now, since it's so intricate, I've only done one base setup of pi, and that is, I mean, I don't really like to give away because somebody else is going to do it, but you know what? Somebody will do it. Big deal. If I don't share, if I'm too scared to share, and for everybody to formulate this, if you want to take the credit on yourself, go ahead. But we can't stop what's coming, and that's the truth. I need to create a program. And here's, I don't want to get into pi yet, but please do remind me if you want to know. Hey, Kingsway, how you doing? Okay, and I just want to let you know you're all people out there, because I don't know races and I don't know what color you are. And I don't know if you're male or female. I just know you're all boys and girls. That's what I do know. You're all boys and girls. We're all the children of the Creator, and we're here for the truth of creation. For the word will stand in the word. I use French and English, and I use games. I use language. I use everything and anything that can possibly be used, that's been used before, to teach us, or things that we have played. Everything has rules and regulations and have a more or less a constant for an understanding. The only thing I added in is just a little bit of an equation for a better understanding. And what better than multiplication and addition over on top of each other, showing the cross and the plus sign, creating what is a star. And that's where we are. We're in Stargate. So let me go on to the continuation of 1, 2, 3, 4 equaling to 10, to where we don't use everything. We are not going to use 4. We're going to go A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 equals to 6F. And then we're going to invert it. D, C, B decibels. And we're going to go into what is 9I. If is 69, 3 by 3, 3 plus 3. And what did we leave out? We left out in one D and the other one A. When we leave out D8 in a cube, we end up with F and C. Where do we get this from? Now, if the cat wouldn't be on my dice, haha. And there's my bonhomme with the skirt, right? I can't stand on top of my head, right? But I can stand here in the skirt. The center of the skirt covers one, and each side covers one area, equaling to 3. So we're working with that. So F and C coming together. So F and C is right here, and F and C is right here. Here's F and C. Now, how so? Well, we base it on this. I got 6 here with 3 void in the center, or I got 3 here and 3 here, okay, with the 3 over here. This is where the 2 hearts come together that I showed you in this design. That's where this one comes. That's your base creation. That's when your 3 comes over, jumps on top of the 8, connecting the one soul into the spirit. And when you see the connect, you can see the hexagon that is created. Also note that we have to understand, is there any artwork? Well, 3 times 3, 9. 3 plus 3, 6. So now we have 9. And 6. We also have the 8 sign. And also, this is found on the 5 key, the percentage sign of what is 9/6 rotation of number 33, known to be what is Jesus Christ. And 115T, first in Jesus Christ. Cache, C with an H is cache, so you're caching in your computer. So when you do this, if we want to finish this, right, it's also the torus. If I would split this, I can split this to what would be the torus. And when I look at this as art, I see other stuff, but I'm just going to keep this to the base. That when we create that, and you notice there's levels. Why did I do this? It's an obligation. Where's the obligation? I need to use the entire cube. Over here, the same obligation. See, there's a whole bunch of cubes here. Just want to see if I have this in here. The same thing over here, where I went to the corner here and the corner here to reach to the corners here. And what is this? This is the Mayan cycle. 7 and 6. 7 and 6. So I'm doing it this way. I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I should be using, hold on a second. I should be using the telephone and not the calculator. They're not the same, right? We find different places, right? So in order to find those numbers over here, I think I would have to turn it inside out. So I'm going to connect 1 and 6, and I'm going to connect over here 4 and 9. Now over here, what happened? Why did I leave one out? Why is there only one window pane and here 2? Because over here is a black 1. So I create one. What I create again? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1 and 5 is 6. So I connect that one again. So let me see. 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. This one is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 19. 1 plus 9 equals 10. 1 plus 9 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. 19, 20, 21. 24, 2 and 4 is 6. I now connect 1 and 6. And then I connect over here 4 and 9. And I create this again. And this is the Mayan calendar. Why is it? Why do I call it that? Because the Mayan calendar works in rotations of 13 and 7. Let me see if I got that here. The Mayan rotation, 13 and 7. No, I don't have it here. Hold on a second. Yeah, okay, it's right over here. I'll see if I can add this onto the screen over here. Hold on a second. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm gonna have to cross something off. Let me see what this is. Okay, you know what? We're gonna get rid of this one so I can. Okay, so I have to upload one. I have no more space. Just give me a second. Yeah, we're gonna upload this one, and I'm gonna take down this one over here. Let me see. No, I'm gonna take down this one over here. See, this is the way my numbers connect. 8 and 17. Sorry, 8 and 17. 1 and 7 is 8. All this one up here is about 7. I just want to take this one off. Delete overlay. And just 1 second. Okay, I can't get it up, but I'm going to show you what it is. And I have it other places. It's right here. See, there's 7 areas over here, and there's 13 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You notice that the line only shows up after on the 5th dot, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th. Here it shows up and it runs all the way to the 13th. So life, if we were adding this onto life, we couldn't start until we arrived over here. Notice the 1, 2, 3 here. Notice the 1, 2, 3 here. Notice the 1, 2, 3 here. Before we can get into our creation, there's certain steps that have to be ruled over, right? And dots and dashes are representing Earth and Mars. One of the reasons for that, if I haven't mentioned it before, I use this for this scenario that 1 line is a dot. 2 lines is a separation. When you connect 2 dots, it becomes a separation. So now let me drink a little bit of my tea when the cat is here. Sometimes I lose my trend of thought. I don't like to, but if you look at this over here, it says 5184. The numeric value for Mars is 51. Just mark 17 down on a piece of paper times 3. 84 is Pluto. Mark that down on a piece of paper, multiply 28 times 3. Cycle of our moon 3 times before you get to the mirror of that cycle. This part over here, just to go through it quick, I connect 285 with 369. I connect 147 with 285, and I connect 147 with 369, showing me all the same artwork, except when you put 147 all at the top, or 369 all at the top, or 258 all at the top, it'll all show these 3 different designs. One that has the split, like the pagan over here. One of them over here, which is tilted to the left. The other one tilted to the right. It wasn't made to use, I mean, I don't believe, not everything was made to use all the elements you have at hand. If I took all the elements in the periodic table, I would come up with, ugh. If I took all the paint and I mixed it together, I'd come up with, I don't know. I'd come up with what they call a mishmash. Mish-mash, where I and A is now the only difference between the two words. So now we can understand that if mishmash has a difference, how can we understand I and A showing up with nothing when you mish and mash, or mix and match, or you know what I'm saying? Or minimum and maximum. You can't have minimum and have maximum. Or is your minimum the maximum minimum that you can have? Or is the maximum the minimum maximum you can have? Then it wouldn't be the maximum. And neither would the maximum of the minimum be that. Is this making any sense? Okay, let me get out of this area over here. Let me see. Have you ever seen what a guitar is? This picture should be upside down. You can actually see that a diamond, although you see it maybe in 1D, if you look, anything that has a point is showing distance, right? Like in this over here. See the way it's showing distance all the way down to the end. This over here is the way I count in gematria. I count by twos. When I count in gematria, counting by twos, there's this one area here. There's an area here. There's an area here and an area here. 1, 3, 5, 7. And I connect it with 2, 4, 6. And the same thing down here and the same thing on this area. Then when I go all the way to the top, when I reach number 13, number 15 splits both sides. So now if you're going to go ahead and play the game of pool, you now understand that the 15 ball is splitting both sides, just as what or like that the 7 ball was splitting both sides, except there's a difference. The 15 ball is going to crisscross where the 7 didn't. And I'm assuming, and I still have to go through this again, is because going up to the 15th ball, there's actually 8, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. But now you go over to the 8 ball. So there's an extra area space shifting the 15 over to the other side. If you follow how I'm explaining this, and then I have to redo these designs again, because in gematria, when you count, when you get to the 14th letter, you're actually saying 1. When you get to the 13th letter, it says 1. It's 1 and 1. So can I move up? Can I move down? Do they go over each other? Is that possible? Or is it 2 different dimensions? It's the first part of the alphabet of 13, and it's the second part of the alphabet of 13. And note that that one alphabet ends with M, the other alphabet begins with M. The center is 1, 3, and 5. The 13 ball and the 5 ball in pool are both orange. The 1, 3 for 13 is the bar mitzvah. It'll create number 7. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 will equal to 3 and 4, 7. The other one is 5. The numeric value of 5 and 7 is the female and the male because of mathematics. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 3 and 2, 5. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 3 and 4, 7. 57, 75, which is electric and moon. At the same time, when you have 57, 75, also noted to be 2015, or the letters T, O, inverted, what is G, L. So this, if you would run it by 13 moons, it would be 75,075. And don't forget, this comes from the orphan children. So isn't this ironic that we get the same number, except there's a separation of Oh Canada, Oh say can you see, Oh my God, or should I speak to the French people and ask them if I can mark it this way, or is it unrelated to ho ho ho, oh my God, oh, here's my Billy Bat also with the dot, just like the I letter. So what happens here? It becomes 35 and 12 equaling to 47. The numeric value for time in French is HURE. 8 and 5, 13 and 21 is 34. And 18 is 52 and 5 is 57. But in English, time is 47, and it took 57 in French to create 47 in English. And also to note
3 and 8 came together to where it's on the cube, the inverted cube. I don't know what happened here. 1 dot, 8 around. 6 dot, 3 in the center. 3 and 8, 11. To where 1 and 6 equals to 7. It's ironic that 1 equals to 3 and 4, 7, and 6 equals to 5 and 2, 7. Here is the third day. Here is the center day of the 5-day week. 5, 4, 3. 5, 4, 3 if you want to count it that way, or 1, 2, 3, whichever way you want to go. So if it's 5, 4, 3 is 12, becomes 3. So if it's 5, 4, 3 becomes 12, becomes 3, becomes 33. The way to get this is through 11. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 1 and 2 equals to 3. Now, since there are 3 sides to this, all opposite sides with 9 and 9, 18, with 7 dots. 7 and 11 is 18. So we're going to do it. We're going to have to do it 3 times, right? But since this becomes the ring, if one of them, the pole, becomes 11 and 7, the ring becomes 11 and 11 and 7 and 7. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 equals to 4 and 4 equals to what is 8. And now we have number 38 to the 1 and 6 dot. Noted that church is 61 and spirit is 91. Also note that the Mayan calendar, the Mayan grindstone of the clock, right? When you multiply it, it equals to 91. That there are 13 cards in the deck of cards in each suit. When you add up 1 over to 13, it equals to 91. There are 4 suits. It equals to 4 times 91 equals to 364, which man, the numeric value for the word man is 28. But to become man, you have to end 13 years. 13 by 28, 10 by 28 is 280, 3 by 8 is 24, and 3 by 20 is 60. You end up with 4, 6, 3. 364. At the same time, what's going to happen over here to this 13 or this 13 is 1 and 3 is 4. You end up by 4 by 7 equals to 28 man. Now, if you want to do the other part of the star system, it'll be 3 by 7 equals to 21. I don't have a true value for that. I like to call it blackjack. 21, when 21 comes together, and 21 is what creation of 11 is. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to what is 1 and 2. So that's this base formation. So we're going to get back to what I was talking about before. Whoa, I just spilled water on me. I'm not happy about that. Just give me a second. Just give me a second over here. Spilt water, the cat, me, I'm going fast. Thank my nephew for buying me the Rubik's Cube. Let me get back to the comments. There are none. Okay. CFAS. I have to wipe my book. Okay, so where was I? Yes, we were with A, B, C, D. So when you do A, B, C, D one way, you do A, B, C the other way. Now what we have to talk about when I was doing A, B, C, D is that what about 6, 7, 8, 9? They complement all the 10s. See, although we had A, B, C, D in the first formation, in the back formation, let me see if I completed this. Right, here it is. And this all has to go back to the beginning. So we did A, B, C, D. We did this part over here. So now what's going to happen? Where did I go with this? Now we're going to eliminate. We're going to use the A, B, C, D. So we're going to eliminate. We're going to use these three. Okay. So if I'm going to use these three, I'm going to use these three. 7, 8, and 9. I'm going to leave out both 4 and 6, and both 4 and 6 is 6 and 4. Zion, Israel. The mathematics will equal to 3, 4, which will be CD or DC. House of DC. House of DC. House 68, which the cat is 24, and 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to 8 equals to 6, to where the odds on these dice, all right, of what is 33 is 44, is you play 6, you win 7, and you end up with 13. House is number 68. Where else was I going to go with this? Right. So we were working on A, B, C. And at the same time, I was working on A, B, C, D, C, and B. So when I invert this, I end up with I, H, and G. It's the only one that I really write in small letters. Everything else I like to do capitals. All my C's look like E's because it is creation. It is the omega. To jump from this to here, I have to go around. It's a line, and then I go around to this side. There's 2 ways for 3. It's 3, and it's 3. There's 2 ways for 6. It's 6, and it's 6. But the only time you'll see it is when it's like that. It's the only time you'll see it. When the 2 is up, when the 2 or 5 are up, the 6 will look like an I. When the 3 and 4 are up, it looks like an H. So 3 and 4, it'll be like that. When it's 2 and 5, it'll look like that. Now, at the same time, we don't have to make it look like that, right? We can do that. At the same time, we don't have to let it look like that. We can do that. And it just so happens that the invert word to Mars, 51, is Heinz, 57. And when I put all of these together, I just can't see, hold on a second. When I put the I and the H and the N and the Z together, I get a boxed in cube or square in the star system. And see that continuation of that line, the continuation of that line, and the continuation of that line, that line, that line, that line, that line, and that line. And it has to be done that way for dimension. You cannot do it any other way. So that's basically what it's going to look like. Anyways, I'm not coloring too much right now. So we did this. I want to just go back to A, B, C, D, C, B. This one over here is F. This is G, and this is H. So if you take a look at both of them, both G and H, and the difference is I and F. That's your rotation of 33. 3 times 3, I. 3 plus 3, F. 6 and 9, rotation in the sun. If I show you the A letter, I can show you at first the angelfish, but at the beginning, it's a D. It's the cap. And after that, it's the C, D, C, dividing between 2 worlds. We have 3 moons between Earth and Mars. Now, I'm not really sure if I should be doing it this way, but the Earth moon is usually separated. Although the Earth moon is one moon. Although Earth is supposed to be the line, Earth gets a single moon. So Earth is actually getting Luna. And that, in all actuality, is not Earth's moon. Here would be Earth's moon, and here would be the two moons of Mars. So the two moons of Mars are actually connecting to what is Earth, and the one moon of Mars, the two moons of Mars is connecting to Earth, and the one moon of Earth is connecting to Mars because of the one area, the value of Mars, to where the two areas, the value of Earth. Earth being 52 and Mars being 51, equaling to 103. Mercury, when you bring them together, has a value of 103, Jesus Christ. Multiply it and add it, becomes 13. Multiply it and add it, becomes 17. Creates 48 and 37. Creation of the gate in the divided house of Pluto. Now, I didn't work on number 13 yet. I'm not really sure where I am yet. Oh, thank God the cat went down. Just give me a second to have a little bit of drink here. Creation of the gate of Pluto. Now, to run another thing similar, Pluto's number 84. The moon is 28. 3 times 28 will create that 84. But it's going to take 4 times 21 dots to create the 84 in order to create 3 moon cycles, 3 and 4. Everything, divide everything by 4, multiply everything by 4. Divide everything by 3, multiply everything by 3. Now, what is 5, 4, and 6? 5, 4, and 6 is when you're 1 away from 5, you're actually 20% less than 5 is 4. So 20%, okay, less than 5 equals to 4. Now 5 times 20% equals to 6. We are born into the crossroads of the house of bait. 2 and a 5 equaling in 2 different ways to the minus and the plus, both 4 and 6, the direct current house of DC. And number 5 is the sky pass. And number 99, the invert to what is sky pass, is Pluto and 13. The reason for that is it is Jupiter and 13. Jupiter is number 99. 13 is also 99. So when you have Jupiter, you have 99. You have the IT system over here. You're born on the Earth. Terre in French is Earth. IT system is your birth in the house of Bait. Where does this come from? Your one spirit born into the 8th heaven, into the IT system. Your 911 is right over here. This is your IT system. The word is 99, 13. And remember, this one is very special because it can be 13th. You begin with TH. TH only begins at 4th. Teach only at 4th, because everything else is 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. But what do we do at 1st and 2nd? We stand on 17 to create what is 3rd. Standard, ABC standard. And then we get the 4th, we get standard death. 13 is numeric value also 91, which creates 18. 18 and 81. These will create 8 and 9, which will create 72 and 17. these come together. When you see 1 and 2 together with the same number, you can bring them together. Always bring 1 and 2 together. Now, my question is, when the numbers are the same, do they switch or do they not? Because what if I had 1 and 7? Oh, this is actually, I don't want to do those numbers, but I'm going to do it. When I do this, sorry, let me do this. 2 different numbers. Now, do they add up? We need to get their average. Should I add them up? Should I add these up? Because 1 and 2 comes together in 3. When you're looking at time, let's say I say it was 6:21 at night. You're also going to say 18:21. So this did not change, but this did change to show you it was PM instead of what is AM. Right? You ever see these letters before? If you say them, it'll say empty. Yeah, 13. Inside 13, 44 area space, division between night and day, talking about the moon. The IR system is your rotation in your 360-degree formation. It is 9 and 18 inside the house of Bait, created by number 36. There's only 2 ways to get 36, and there's 2 ways to get 45. And what's ironic is that will say love in base formation. Those are the only 2 that go 2 by 2, 5 and 4, and 4 and 5, 3 and 6, and 6 and 3. So do you have 6 3s or 3 6s? There's a difference. So here, THIR, here you have 28, the cycle of the moon. Inside the house of Bait equals to what is the sky pass over here, 54 and 44, division of night and day. And that's where the beginning between 13 and 19, but we get 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's a bunch of separations here. In fact, this one should also be separated. This 19 should actually go here, but I'm going to keep it over here for now. I was talking about the M and the N also before, being the 13th and the 14th letter. 4 and 5 and 3 and 4, the multiplication and the addition. See the way the multiplication and the addition, right? Instead of now having where your 3, 4 is your separation between Earth and Mars, it now gets shifted to 4 and 5 through the addition. 7 and 9. To where on the ATM, on the 7 key is the Q, 17. And on the 9 key is the Z, 26. 1 and 7, 8. 2 and 6, 8. And they total 43 DC into the birth. 16 and 63 back to 9 and 7 again. Rotation in the sun, 3 and 6 equals to 18R and I 9. Total is 27 in the house of Bait, equaling to 27. There are only 2 letters in this family. 1 and 8 equals to 9. They're the only 2 that come back to 99. They're the only 2 that will create from what is 360. And the only way to get to 360 is 9 times 47 or 74, which is the word time and Jesus. 9 by 4, 36. 9 by 7, 63. The invert to this is this numeric value here. 1441. 6 times 5, 6 plus 5 equals to 41. Home 41. Queen, sorry, that's totally wrong. Home 41, king 41. When you multiply it, you get 5 and 4. When you multiply it, you get 20 and 9. And this is where you have the IT system of number 29. When you multiply that again, you get 18 and 11. And that is we separate at these two numbers because these two, this one here is going to repeat. See, this is 29. So here we have 8 and 9. Here we have 1 and 2. And it just so happens we end up creating 1010 or 911. And that's how it all comes back into each other, by understanding the formation of the programmation of the numbers. Now, why I did this like this, okay? And don't forget, when you have 89, you have a natural, right? That natural is, I'm just trying to think, 11, 11, 11, or 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Or 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 2 and 1, 3. 1 times 2 and plus 2 is 2 and 1, 3. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, 2 and 1, 3, equaling to 3, 3, 3, or a total of 9 and 8. It's a natural. But it's not only suitable to go there, I'm going to get back to that in a minute. It's also to where 1, 4, or 7, 0, 3, 3, 3, 1.333, 2.333, where 2, 5, and 8 are 0.666, 1.666, and 2.666, to where 3, 6, and 9 equals to what is ABC? 1, 2, 3, with no remainders. The continuation of this is 3, 12, and 21, 6, 15, and 24, 9, 18, and 27. I and R equals to what is 27. Doesn't do that anywhere else, and that is the I and R letter, your house of creation. Times 3 equals to 54. In Hebrew, it's called Resh or Reich, born into the third house of the Reich, inside the sun. If you do it one more time to bring it to full formation, we get 72 or 27. 9 by 8 is that 27, and that's your high birth. 1 and 2 is 3. 2 and 1 is 3. We end up with 3, 3, 3. This is where the pigs come in. The pigs come in. Their pregnancy is 3, 3, 3. 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. Month, week, day. We have over here, the letters are F-O-X. Over here, it's C-L and U. Here it's Fox, and here it's I-N-R. Look at that Fox, 1 and 5, 6, and 24, 6. Now we have a vibration that they call 4, 3, 2, but I'm going to look at 2, 3, and 4, and 6, 6, and 6 equals to what is the 90-degree angle. 6 and 4 is 10. 0, carry the 1, carry the 1. You have your 90-degree angle. We work with the heart. We work with 3 of 4 areas. We work with 75%, which is narrowed off to what is 30. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right? We work in, that's why we end up with, the other thing is, why do we end up with 60 minutes when it's 100% of time? I'm going to show you another piece I did on that. I'm trying to remember if I'm explaining this properly. Is it 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes, or are we going to use 4 periods of 15 minutes to have the same result of 60-60, where this will be hockey, rotation in the moon on ice, right? And then when you look at hockey, we have 3 different pucks. Puck at the top, puck in the center, puck down at the bottom. Also to note, there's 9 cubes at the top, there's 8 in the center, and there's 9 at the bottom. 9, 8, 9. 3 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 3. Are we going to talk about MC squared? Not right now. But we did talk about 1776. I'm not finished here yet. The invert to 6 on the cube is 8. The invert to 3 on the cube is 4. And the invert to 9 on the cube is every single face. But now we're going to get down into something a little bit different. The opposites of these numbers on a cube. Here it's 5 and 6 and 5 and 6. The opposite on the cube. 5 is opposite of 2 and 6 is opposite of 1. I did 1776 before. I'm just going to do it 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 6 times, and 8. 3, 6, 10, 16, 24. And then 1776, and then 888. Let me do this properly. Eight 88, 592, 444, 296, 222, and this one is 74. Add this up, 16, 20, 26, 28. Add this up, 15 and 9, 24, 28, 39. Add this up, 28. 7 times 4, 28. 7 plus 4, 11 equals to 39. EIN, 5 and 9 and 14 equals to 28. S&T, 19 and 20 equaling to 39, and EIN equaling to 28. 1, 3, 1. MC squared. Einstein. The cycle of the moon. In rotation of the mirror. 39. Also a representation of 10. The center to numbers, okay? The center to numbers are 51 and 60. I'm not going to get into this one right now. This is 57 and 60, equaling to 7, 11 the cube. I need to multiply it by 3. Also note that this is S&T representing first, last, and gold, because gold is first. Now we're going to come back to this, but I'm going to take a 2-second break to read what's going on. If anybody has to ask me any questions, and I still like to go over the Einstein bit and anything that I came up with. Another thing is, when I showed you 1441, the invert to 1441 is 9, 6, 6, 9. 9 and 1, 10, 6 and 4, 10, 6 and 4, 10, 9 and 1. Or 3, 6, 6, 3, 9, 9, 3. 3 and 1, 4, 9 and 4, 13, 1 and 3, 4, 9 and 4, 13, 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 1 and 1 and 3, 4. Or what we're going to do is 6, 3, 3, 6. 6 and 1, 7, 3 and 4, 7, 4 and 3, 7, 6 and 1, 7. Everything has to be in rotation of 1, 4, 7. Our months, 1 month of Valentine's Day, our 4 months of 30 days, and our 7 months of 31 days. Note that every single month is 28 days, so there's always 13 by 28. There's always 12 months by 28 days. So if we're going to run our cycle, we're going to run that cycle as 1 and 27, perhaps 2 and 26, perhaps 3 and 25, perhaps 4 and 24 for the 24 hours in a day, or we'll use the just give me a second. I lost myself. Or we're going to use the 28 days of the month. 1 month, we're going to get 29 days. It's going to happen every 4 years. So number 1 every 4 years. We're going to get 2. We're going to add 2 on to 4 months of 28 days. 4 times, and we're going to add 3 on to 28 days. So we're going to have 7 by 3, 21. So we're adding on the cube in those months. Then we're going to get 4 times 2 is 8. So that would become as what is most likely the pole, 2 times 4, and it is the vision of night and day, the cat. And then we get the 1 month with no multiplication. 1 month of 1, and that is your base creation, which happens to be Valentine's, and Valentine's equals to 45, and the numeric value that we just did before of Fox is 45. 39 for OX, love, hugs and kisses, 66 equals to freedom. 66 equals to woman. 66 is what's going to create 36 and 12, 48. The inverted to what 84 is Pluto. So it seems like everything seems to come from what is your 36 creation over here. 2, 5, and 8. 40 times 2 is 80. That is your passage. 8 times 8, 8 plus 8, which is 16, 1 and 6, 7, 8. And times 8 is 64, 6 and 4, 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. Q comes out over here, creating that gateway. 7 by 4 is 28. We're going to get the angels over here. We're going to get rotation in the house of Bait through the sun, the divided sun. 9 by 6, 54, 3 by 6, 18. Resh in the third Reich of the divided sun showing up over here. The sun, the moon, and Mars are the three majors. I think the 18th year, you start over again. We go up to 17, and the 18th year, we start over again. Jesus has never left. And the word in Jesus for je, J-E, meaning I, it is us. And it's in all of us, except when they put the nail in the coffin and they put it in his hand, it was an expression, the way Mars came in, okay, and divided everything up into 4 different sections. A nail in each foot and a nail in each hand. That's 4 nails. N-A-I-L. The lamb became the lion. Knowing that the word lamb in French is a blade. That's funny that you said it, AOS. I'm not sure why you said it or what you mean by it. But A and S are actually one of the same. Where A is singularity, ABC is singularity. It's almost like you cannot, like in bowling, you have all 3 into the 10th frame, but only when you get all those 3 in the 10th frame, nothing counts until you play the 10th frame, the 9th frame, and the 8th frame. Your base of the 10th frame is we have to be bowling backwards, not forwards. The Hebrews count the other way. Just that it seems we have to do it both ways, right? When you're counting one way, instead of having 300, right, in bowling, we end up with 30 in the 10th frame. So now we have 33 or 330 or 33 in rotation. Then instead of having 270, the house of Bait in the 9th frame in bowling scoring, we now have 60 in the house of Bait. 260 and 70 is 330. And the complete bowling inverted becomes 33, 33, 33, 33. And 3 of them, meaning what is Turkey, is 99. Now we're back in Jupiter 13. And 13 is noted to be what is Jacera, in part of Jacera Nasera, representing the moon, to where Nasera is representing the sun. The divided alphabet of 13.5 or 135 or 1A, 3C, E5. At the same time, we get S9. Whoop, let me do this again. We get S19. We get U21. We get N14, where 19/1 to where 21/3 to where 14/5. So we do that over here. And then we end up with the sun, 135. The alphabet divides at 135. 135 says ACE. 135, the 13th letter for M for matter. The 5th letter E for energy. The 13th letter possibly Mars or Mercury. The 5th letter E for Earth. In order to create, let me see, M13, we would use 16 to create 13. And then to create 5, we'll use 12. And the reason for that is 13 equals to 1 times 1 times 3 equals 1 times 3 equals to 3. 1 plus 3 equals to 4 plus 3 equals to 7. 3 times 4 equals to 12 plus 7 equals to 19s. And then the invert is the 8h, to where 22, or 2 times 2 equals 4, and then 2 plus 2 equals to 4 plus 4 equals to 8, to where 4 times, okay, we're going to just use that 8 and stop there. Let me put that up, and then we're going to write this over here. So now when we get into this, now we know where we found the S letter that inverts to the reverse alphabet of what is the 8th letter, to where it is 22, the 22nd letter, or the letter V. V in French says life. Also, 22 is when you bust out, and they're calling for monkeys, and 21 blackjack. At the same time, 22 equals to the word APE, equaling to, again, that 22, to where 22 is what 1111 is to the ring, okay, of the squares of this, to where the pole is a singular 11. So we use the around here and here, 7, 11 on this cube. It happens 3 times. And again, you roll a ball, you roll a cube. Okay, I didn't see this. Yeah, Einstein calculates into 1776 and MC squared that if we go ahead and we look at our Roman numerals, right, all our Roman numerals are the same numbers. There's only 2 numbers in Roman numerals when you break it down. 1,110 and 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Or you have D. You have M and C and X and I, to where you have D and L and V. 4, 3, 6, 9. At the same time, what is this? I'm going to explain it to you pretty simple. The single letter count of number 13, of 03, of 24, and of 9. All funnily, everything represents something close to what is 3, 3, 6, and 9, to what is 4, 3, and 4, or 4, 12, and 22. 2 and 2 is 4. 34. Did I get that right? Did I get that right? Yes, 11, 11. I got that right. 33, 36, 40. This equals to 2. This equals to 4. So what is this? 15 and 7 is 22 and 11. Did I get that right? 4, 3, 6, 9. 4, 3, 6, 9. 9 and 6, 15, 18, 22. So again, we're splitting that cube. 7, 11. 2 sides. 7, 11. So this in Roman numerals, what happens, okay, with M1 and D5 and C1 and L5 and X1 and V5 and I1. So what do you see? Why? Because this is 1,000, this is 500, and this is 100, and this is 50, and this is 10. 1, 5, and this is all 51, 15, 51, which is the 33 rotation in the sun, multiplied by the numeric value of time equals to what is 15, 51. Mars is numeric value 51, and in between here and here, it's 9876432. 9876432. And then this one here is 9, 8, 7, 6, and then it's 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. 1 and 3 is 4. And then so on and so forth, and adding up these numbers. So into our vibration, except the center of all our divisions is inside of number 6 or 9. We use one or the other, but there's 4 in one area. And anyways, this ends up to be 9, 6, 9. Did I get 13 and 8, 21, 30? Sorry, it's 9, 3, 9, 3. 13, 31, 13. 31, 13, 31. Mathematically, okay, when I run this to the end, it'll be 19, 19, 19. If I bring it to the first formation, it'll be 7, 7, 7, or it'll be 3, 3. Three, 3, 3. And this will be 11 and 13 equals to 24. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1, 3. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, 4 and 3, 7. So this will be 2 and 4, and this is where the dividing gate shows up. And this numeric value is what runs into the moon. This would be 57. This will be 75. The 5 will equal to what is the female, and the 7 will be the male. Only for it's the bar mitzvah and the bat mitzvah. The bat mitzvah and the bar mitzvah, everything connecting to the moon. Anyways, we're going to just look at the comments. Yeah, I wanted to finish one more piece. One more piece, which is this over here. Now, why did I separate it this way? I'm going to explain to you why. Because once I pass 12, I end up in 13. It's the beginning of teen. The end of my teen is 19. There's a separation over here between 17, 18, 19, because in French, they say 10, 7, 10, 8, and 10, 9. So that when I bring this to full formation, okay, I end up in full formation. I end up with 51, 54, and 57. I end up with Mars, the sun, and the moon. And remember, 1, 4, 7. Now, if I multiplied it by 4, I end up with 68, 72, 76. So I end up with 4, 9, and 5 in this one. 6, 7, 7 in this one. Not the same thing. I'm not really sure what it means. I'm not sure where I should go with this. This is 13. This is the house of bait. This is the house. This is the house of bait at the divided gate. Your birth, your 5 and 9 are the invert to each other. Your 5 and 4 are the sun. Your 4 and 9, I mean, I don't want to really talk about that inversion right now for other reasons, other to note that ABC will bring this to a 10-10 position. So I mention this because they're said as 10s. These are not. Now, if I multiply this by 4, okay, 24, by 3 it becomes 48, by 4 it becomes 64, by 3 it becomes 45, by 4 it becomes 60, by 3 it becomes 42, by 4 it becomes 58, by 3 it becomes 39, division in the moon, and then by 4 it becomes 52. Now it tells me about the deck of cards. So I have to try and understand what's going on over here. So 13 through 16, okay, 13 through 16 is telling me one story. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. To where my book ends, 74, Jesus. To where my 76, to Earth and Mars, to 45, 54, into the sun, to where the student comes in. right over here, 5 and 6. To bring it to a perfect 7, 9, 1, 2, 3. I'm really a little bit tired to start putting together numbers. I'm going to read what's going on. I'm not really sure where I'm going with this. I just can't jump in. I don't have it in my brain right now. Well, I mean, we are basically, lo and behold, we were created. A135, A135s. Okay, yes, if they did it in geography, I'm going to have to understand that. Another thing, I mean, when you use understanding circles, understanding also that how can we draw an in-between line in an area? The only way to draw an in-between line in an area is to create multiple pieces of geometric shapes so you can connect the corners. Because in geometric shapes or in building, if you don't have a measuring tape to measure, but you only have a straight line, you can connect evenly to corners or other corners. So if I put out multitudes of plywoods or long sticks, I can use those long sticks, fold one over to find the center of one, and just keep using those. Let me just show you just one piece of this. Let's say I want to do something in the middle of this, right? So I'm going to create a lot of these. Right? And by creating a lot of them, I now can do that. And if I do that, I now can create that inside of it. Actually, I was actually supposed to do it a little bit different. It wasn't in this shape. I was working more in rectangular. But I'm too tired to start explaining something. I can't find it in my brain right now. Atlanta, yes, Atlanta is a communication, right? Atlanta is Atlantians, Martians. I have to process that also, where I and A came in together, minimum and maximum. I and A, remember, they're opposites of each other. AEI, O and U. AEI, O and U. Okay, but in numbers, our number setup of 1, 5, and of our 1, 5, and 9 setup, our A, E, and I setup over here is not set up the same way as when we say the alphabet vowels A, E, I, O, and U. We have U at the other end, but at the same time, A is first. U is the 21st letter, so they're both first, ending up at the end. AEI equaling to what is 9, AE equaling to what is 5, AEI, OU, O and U equaling to O 15, and U 21 equaling to what is 6 and 3. So you have 1, 5, 9, 6, 3. That's what you have in that order. I haven't watched it yet. Hugs and kisses, X's and O's. It's a word. You cannot give a meaning to a word by a guess. And you can say, I know, give it by a guess. The actuality is, everybody that's here or anybody that's going to watch this, you tell me that the letter J is in the language alphabet that I speak right now. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look for something. I'm going to look this up. And I'm going to ask a question. Where is the derivative of the English language alphabet? The origin of the English alphabet and the 26 letters. Now, I'm just Old English, Middle English, Modern English. What is the alphabet? Stories and letters. The original shape of A was upside down. It was introduced in the 1800s, being inverted, looked like the head of an animal with horns or antlers. It was fitting because the ancient Semitic
letter translate to ox. Again, 6 and 6. And then the letter B and C. So if we go back to find out where all our letters from, we're going to understand it a little bit differently. We're going to have a better in English based on the Roman alphabet. The Roman alphabet is the alphabet that was used by the Romans in ancient times, that is used for writing in most Western and European languages. Is the English alphabet the Arabic alphabet? This is because Western language such as English and Spanish are based on Latin alphabet. So it seems like the conglomerations of languages and the alphabet came out to be to where a final universal language is English. I like to use English and French. I like to use Spanish, and I like to use all the languages because I think they all count. It's just I don't know them all, so I can't do it. Spanish is, I think, very, very important. I think English, French, and Spanish is very important. And the reason I say that, and I'm not including Italian, in which I should, is because I think Spanish could be more like a simplified Italian. Don't jump at me, please. So let's get back to the word Jesus. Just starting with the capital of J, right? It starts with 10, the 10th letter, and the 5th letter. 105, 70, and 35. The gateway, the hand of God. 70 and 35. Kansas City runs Highway 35 through Highway 70. Highway 35 cuts through 35. And in Kansas City, they have all the tornadoes. J and E. J is the 10th letter. It is the A, B, C, D equaling to 10. After that, it becomes the E equaling to 15. Again, 15, again, connecting back to Mars. S is the 19th letter, and it's going to be created where? It's actually the beginning of 1 again. So in Jesus, you have 1, 5, 1, 3, 1. So right away, you're talking about Jesus Christ, right? Right in there, you're also including Mercury. You're also including what is man. We talked about the triangles before, to where Mars has 2 moons, Earth has 1 moon. So Earth would get 2 triangles. That means if I did the same thing for Mars, it would get 4 triangles. When I take 4 triangles and 2 triangles, I end up with what is the Star of David. I also end up with what is the house of Bait. Bait is noted to be a bee, the beehive. So we end up with, also in the word Jesus, we also have a verb. You can also say je sais et je suis, which means I have and I am. Christ actually is number 77, which mathematically will create 63, which is a value for 11, and what will create number 30. Anyways, I'm just going on. I need you to see the whole puzzle of how it just to speak like this, you know. Christ and Jesus coming together is 151, and Mars are those numeric value, and 15 is also 1/4 of time, and Earth's numeric value in a short count is 1/4 or 25. The last piece I wanted to show you is, I didn't finish it. 60 seconds versus 100%. When you get to Zion, Israel, you're inside the house. When you get to the Fox Pass, you get to the Silver Gate. When you get to the moon, you get birth at the gateway. When you get to Sky Pass, you get to the sun, and you get to the female, you get to the inverted cube. It's actually perfect, 5, 5, and 9, 5. When you get to the sun or the sun pass, you end up in Uranus. Half of this will give you time. Electric company, 5 and 3 is also 8 times 3, 8 plus 3, which equals to 24 and 11 equaling to 35. We end up in what is the cycles of Saturn, but also connected to the moon. The same numeric value comes here. And the mirror, because 39, which is the word 10, 10 is A, B, C, D, that becomes the mirror. 52 Earth, to where that we end up being born into the house of Bait, 9 and 5. 5 and 1 is Mars, we end up with the spirit. 49 represents 8, it represents green, so it's a mixture of yellow and blue. It's representing what is 18, 9 times 9, 9 plus 9, what creates 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 will create 8 and 9. It's high, it's green, it's go, and represents
Mars and the ring. The fourth finger and the ninth finger are the same. Here is where Pluto comes in to buy, to sell, and 88, we end up at the gate in Pluto. 47 is time. Again, we end up at the gate. Here we end up, in the heavens of 8 at the gate, 47. Time, Jesus. And then we keep on going down, the division of night and day, Pluto. Back to the center finger in DC. Dividing the house, the cat, the cycle of man. King and Venus. Angels at the gateway of birth. 38. Back at the gateway. Or Q. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7. 37. Creation of the gate. Christ. Also the student. 36 in rotation. I and R in rotation in the sun of Earth and Mars. 76. And why did I mark all these numbers down? Because I'm marking down the 12s, the 13th, but I should be marking down 12, 13, and 14. Because man and woman, okay, the boy and the girl are ending 12 and 13, moving into 13 and 14, into the split alphabet, into a new house. Anyways, I'm burnt out. It's going to end here. I'm just extremely tired, and it's time for bed. We should say goodnight to the cat, who's been very nice. You've been good? Yeah. Is your nose dirty? Can we wipe your nose? Let me see your nose. Let me see your nose is dirty. I'll clean your nose. You want me to just play with your ear? You like that? I play with your ear? How about if I play with your foot? You like that? How about if I rub your belly? What if I rub your belly? Can I rub your belly? You don't like that, do you? Every time I rub her, that's all she wants to do is lick, lick, lick. So, you know what's funny? 26, game. 26, bear. 26, card. 62, queen. 26, 62, 88, Pegasus. Purple. Hot and cold. 34, 43 equals to 77, Christ. 33, 44, dividing the house. So 622, 6 equals to 1551. 622, 6 is 1551. 33 by 47. Anyways, purple is a mixture between red and blue. Red and blue is Republican and Democrat. Red and blue noted to be left and right. A boy and devil, because red is the devil, not known as girl. Girl is when you add the white to it. Right. You must use different methods of decoding. If I want to use, how about the 7th inning stretch? Do you use the 7th inning stretch to get you to the 9th inning of the baseball game? When you have the 10th inning of the baseball game, you call it Sunday in French. Purple is the major color we should be looking for right now. When purple and this sort of hazy kind of green comes in, that's what we need. That's what's showing us our true colors. Hockey shows us the 3 periods of 20 minutes where there's a complete center to the game. 3 centers, 3 periods, 2 centers, 3. In baseball, the 5th inning is actually the center of the game. The first part of the game is actually after 2 innings of play, and then 2 innings of play, then 1 inning of play, then 2 innings of play. And so baseball would probably just represent the sun, born into the sun. Hockey is 3 periods of 20 minutes each. The Ram fits in over there. Nassau fits in over there. Number 6, the hexagon, fits in over there.
Boxing, the 3-minute rounds, 180 seconds, or race. Anyways, I didn't get to do any of, I didn't finish one of the designs. I wanted to go back and finish one of the designs. Just give me a second. Yeah, so we did that, and I was just working on, you know, some of understanding of the minimum size and the actual size I need to use in order to understand the letters of Allison Gray. The letters of Allison Gray. I need to understand a little bit more of the letters. And there's minimums and maximum sizes, so I need to understand area space used and not used, and then I have to mirror them and overlap them in order to see what's going on, because sometimes we're given a giant picture, right? So if you look at this, let me see. Just 1 second over here. Just give me a second. Yeah, this one over here is when you connect the I and A creating 10, and then F and A creating 7, 7 and 1. This creates your gateway. When you connect 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6. And here you connect 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 3 and 4. On one side, you're connecting 7. The other side, you're connecting 1. That is your Q gate. Okay, that's not inverted twice. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to delete this one here. And let me see if I can put Allison. So I wanted to show, hold on a second, it's coming up here. So here's Allison Gray's, right? So you see, where is it? Yeah, this one over here is this one here, right? So look at the size here and the size here. Here I use 2, and here I use 1. And if you can see, there's more than 1 here. This is 3 or 4 times this area space. So I have to create this larger. The same thing, I have to understand each one of these. And if you note, they're each of the same height, and this one came with separation. So I have to understand. And this can be it can be more than one, like this one over here, right? That I'm showing. This one over here that I'm showing, right? Could be Dalit, could be Yud, it could be the other one. The I might be saying I have something above me, a roof above me, because a dot is the center of something. And then here, if you want to use the Star at David, we have to understand, can the cube be inserted to use the cube inside the Star at David? Or if you want to talk about, rotation of 3 different circles where the eyes come out, there's 3 eyes at all time, and then 1 central to all 3 eyes. Or if you drop 1 into 2, and then those 2 into another 2, and so on and so forth. Then there's male over here, 77. And then there's the gematria, where this piece over here is actually the same as this piece over here. You can see inside the numbers, where it takes 2 areas to come together to create 1 life, noted to be maybe the 2 moons of Mars with the 1 moon of Earth coming together to create a life. This one over here is, there are errors in here, and I'm not happy about that. And the errors in here, there's 1 or 2 errors, but if you take a look at all of them, it's only 3, 6, and 9. Some of them are 0 because of 0 was there. So I'm still trying to understand this a little bit different. I set this up because of how, what do you call it? That game, just 1 second, Keno, not Sudoku. Okay. And what this is, right? You notice on the right side, 3, 6, and 9.
And that has to do with how I made, or I'm going to complete pi perfect when I can understand that 3, 6, and 9, where 6 is black, but 3 and 9 are red, and 3 and 9 are angels, right? And all 6s is freedom and woman. We have the circles. We have that. I don't really like that too much. Here's my apartment, a little bit all over the place. Here's different ways to connect 3, 6, and 9. And we're just going to get out of that, go back to the comments, and then we're going to end the video. Just have to read Alien Greyland. Right. We never really made or accomplished anything, but we did. Because as we move on in time, we're actually putting the central conscience is putting together all our knowledge to be able to build and add into the game as we go. The question is this our real life? The other thing is there's a chance that when you go to sleep tonight, that tomorrow when you wake up, you're not actually waking up where you think you're waking up. You might wake up on the wrong side of the bed, because I think there's multiple pods of our bodies, and we might wake up in one of the 3, all with the same people, but just a different, something else is happening. We're not consciously picking up on that. And on the 4th day, we come back to that body. We keep switching bodies. I mean, it sounds like crazy, right? But how would you know? Because you don't know. What you don't know, you don't know. So you don't know. And the minute you go to sleep and you fall into the realm, into the REM sleep, you're leaving your body, you're dreaming, you're floating over, waking up in a new body. So somebody that doesn't sleep for 1, 2, 3 days, it's not only that they're tired, but they have not reconnected with the central conscience. So for that, they need the REM sleep. M13, E5, matter and energy, 18 equaling to what is R. And REM is rapid eye movement, right? So what is rapid? What is the speed of light for the eye, for that black ball to become bigger and smaller inside that light? So there's a lot of, I have to go over this to understand that. Gimel, the Candyman. The bird and the fish is you need a hook for the fish. The bird eats the worm. The worm is on the hook. So you bait the hook where you catch the bird. So now you can tweet. Fish is IF, which is 6 and 9, and SH is inverted alphabet. It also, if you think of it, it might be shift. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but yeah, it's just like, Neil Anderson was like moving the bullets around like that. Well, that's the way it seems like. Kanaska. Yeah. And another brick on the wall. So everything is coming into. The moons are going out. They're bringing in the colors. They're bringing in the trans, because we're transforming. We're moving. Okay, so we're going to end it here. I want to thank you very much for participating. Again, if you can help out the channel, which is me, that'd be fantastic. One of the ways you can help out is by sharing the knowledge, sharing the artwork, sharing whatever you think. Download the videos just in case one day they take them away. And hopefully one day we can find somebody out here that I can get together with and create a program and enter this all into the program that we can all use to find the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and also balance everything. And now we're going to get to, hey, you didn't do basketball, 12 minutes. You can't get 3 into 20 minutes, but into 20 minutes, you can get 10. times 2. In basketball, you can get 6 by 2 equals to 12 minutes times 4. So in basketball, there's 6, 6, 6, 6. There's 24 of 2 minutes. Or in basketball, there is 3 times 4 minutes. In hockey, there's 4 times 5 minutes. So hockey is 4 times 5 minutes equaling to 20. Basketball is 3 times 4 equaling to 12. And football is 5 times 3 equaling to 15-minute quarters. So how are we moving over? We moved over from 3-5 and 3-4. We reconnected here. We connect here with here, 2012. We connect over here with 2015. 12-15. This is the reverse alphabet. And trying to match up these numbers. And we match up this number over here. So we match up both these numbers inside this one over here. I just have to understand how everything comes together. Now, also, basketball is, when it's 12 minutes, what's ironic is that the corners of Rubik's Cube that has 3 colors, right, is 3 by 4, 2 times 6 equals to 12. 2 plus 6 equals to 8. 12 and 8 equals to 20. 12 is 1 and 2 is 3. It becomes 3 and 8. 11, 11, 11. I'm just trying to see where else I was going with this. Basketball is 75%. Did I get this right? 60 times 75 equals. No. Basketball is 48 minutes. So 60 times 80. 60 times 80 equals, yes, it's 80%. Basketball is 80%. Remember I showed you the difference between 4 and 6? Because we're not starting at 1. We're starting at 5. We go minus 1 to 4, plus 1 to 6. And when we do that, when we do that, we take out the golden arch, and it is 4, 5, and 6 are also known as the Fed. 20% and 20%, plus and minus. 5 minus 20%, 4. 5 plus 20%, 6. The separation is now 2. It's 2020. And in the year 2020 came in, we had C19 in relationship to our moon. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus, who said language is incalculable. Birdworm, flying worms, no Neo. Oh, Neo. Hold on a second. Neo Anderson, 1 DNA red sun, R1 red sun. And to note that Neo Anderson, R red sun, and Neo Anderson, Nibiru. Bi in the road, but bi means a divided sun. The divided sun, bi, I and B coming together, or actually 1, 3, 1. So when you look at the word bi, or by, you can also look at
at this, BI, because not many put that little sticker on when you shove these close together. And this is a representation, again, back to the representation to the disconnected direct current and the moon. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm Otronics. Oh my God. You know, it just never stops. I don't know all the words. So I would appreciate if everybody just writes sometimes in capitals, would help me. Note that ball is number 27 and base is number 27. So baseball is 54, equaling to the sun, and we play it in the summertime. Usually during the day, but now we play it under the lights. So base 2, 3. Oh, that's basketball. Baseball is 2, 3, and 19. 22 and 5 is 27, and 2, 1 is 3, and 24 is 27. Basketball is 3 and 22, 33, and ET is 33 and 25. Did I get that right? 58, 13. Anyways, too tired. Too tired, too tired. Peace, shalom. We know what it takes. Let's find someone to help me put this together on a program. Let's haul me out, get me out of here. Let's go somewhere, I don't know, somewhere different. I just want to be out of here where really and truthfully, I don't want to be with the internet system. I don't want to have any zone, no, maybe perhaps no electricity, a lot of firewood, guitars, peace, and something to open up the mind. A few of those natural medicine doctors, and let's really show the world the truth that's been hidden for so long. That's been in front of us. That's been in front of us for 90 degrees. 180 degrees is everything because of what 360 turned you around. Look at all this information here, right here. Is all the knowledge in the world. All the knowledge in the world. And here, if you notice this small, if you notice the small, right, there's no line. If you look in here, see there's a line. Let me see. See there's a black line here. See the black lines that divide these? I don't know if you can see it. See if you can see it. When you get to the small ones, it can't divide it. There's no machine that can actually put that line, or they didn't do it. It only begins at the fourth one. So that's a story in its own. Good night.